Hey guys, here to talk a little bit about that on Restedxp. I got excited about King, and so I decided to come back to WoW. Uh, Been a long time, and I didn't play any of TBC. Been there, done that, but wasn't really my favorite expansion. I think King was the best in my opinion, so got excited when I heard it. Came back, decided to start a brand new character. Since basically I'm just going to focus on leveling maybe one or two characters in preparation for Wrath. Upon doing that, so, Questy's great and everything, but I forgot how tedious classic WoW can be when you're in your 50s there and it's wanting you to, hit a few zones here, hit a few zones here. Now you got to jump over here and go do some winter spring and just stuff like that. It was just like, man, I forgot how bad it was. And I didn't really feel like doing dungeons and things like that. Everybody's boosting now. I feel like the dungeon groups aren't the same, so find like Maraudon groups and things like that. It's just such a pain in the butt. That it's just mainly sticking to questing. So I looked up the Restedxp. Basically, I had heard about it from content creators, and I was just curious about it. It's cool. Looks pretty. Here it is right here. You can move it all around. It'll pop up in your little screen over here. And so the first, I want to say this portion of it, the 1 to 30, is free, if I'm not mistaken. So you can give it a test out. I just bought it. I bought the TBC because I was like, okay, let's just go all out. I was like level 50. And so it does a good job in a couple things. It clearly marks where you need to go. Let's see, right here I'm in Zanger Marsh using it. So I'm at step 81 right now, so it'll tell me, hey, step 81, 82, as you can see, go here. Now come down here, finish 83, come up here, do your turn-ins, and I want you to go around and do it step by step on these. What I did notice is that it works best if you're using it from the beginning. So when I bought it at 50 and I jumped into it, well, I had already quested around a couple of the zones and stuff, so the guides didn't really work that well, and the quests didn't match up because I'd missed some of those chain quests, or I might have missed little quests here and there, or I had already done some quests. Honestly, I didn't even use it. I finished out, my fit to 58, and then that's when I started using it. When I got to Hellfire, started using it at Hellfire, and it's worked really good ever since. So my recommendation is, if you're interested in this, or if you're gonna use it from the beginning. Because jumping into it, yes, they're these levels are segregated out, but we all know that there's a lot of chain quests in between these that take you from zone to zone, and so if you miss those, it kind of throws off the guide a little bit. Here we can see, okay, so 61 to 63, I'm obviously 64, so let's say I went over to Nagrin, right, because I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna head there. Cool, so here's what it wants you to do. Step 1, it'll tell you, go here, go do all that, blah 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 blah. And let's see, there are a lot, 115 steps in this Nagrin one. Okay, and that's just for 64 to 65. If I decide, I accidentally clicked off it, you can kind of see, or let's say I already did some of these. When I go into a zone like Zanger Marsh, you can see how it just starts checking them off for me. Boom, 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 boom. It'll keep going through, and it'll get stuck in a few places. And you'll have to just manually tell it, I know I did this quest, I know I did the drain schematics, and so it's just going to keep pumping through it, and it does a good job in that sense. And I think it does so well right now is because I have been using it since I got to Outlands. This wasn't the same experience I had when I bought it at level 50. So overall, I think it's a great guide. I feel like WoW players, we've all been playing WoW for so long that it seems silly to need a guide. But at the same time, I was like, man, I really was getting drained out in my 50s and really didn't want to do it. So I decided to buy it. Thought it'd be fun. I think I paid $30, which in all honesty, is a little steep, in my opinion. I can support them and appreciate what they're doing, but I don't see it really be like I can't justify $30 for it. It just seems a little steep for me for what it is. Maybe it'll be better when I play through like a level 1 character all the way through, and then I'll see that value there. But as of right now, as a player that bought it, at level 50, halfway, that's kind of like the halfway point if you think you're going to 70 for your XP needed and stuff like that. The interface, I give it like a solid 10 out of 10. I think it does great on the interface. I like that I can move this around. I like the way it's really simple to use. I like, the way it marks everything. And then I also like that it'll explain stuff in here. It'll say, hey, kill and loot. Because sometimes like Questy and things like that, you'll be like, all right, I'm in this area, but what do I do once I'm in this area? You'll get to the marker and you're like, then you got to go read the quest anyways. But they do a pretty good job of explaining what you need to do when you get to an area. But for $30, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I mean, it's not an absurd amount of money or anything, but it seems a little might not be worth it if you're not sure if you want to spend the money on it. Maybe just stick to Questy. It's pretty much a quick rundown of Restedxp. If you guys have any questions on like my opinion of it or anything, please feel free to drop a comment below. Be more than happy to answer any questions I can with my experience on it. Again, I'm probably going to do a run through here once the pre-patch comes out and once we get like that XP bonus, and probably level a character 1 to 70, just using it, just to give it a fair shot, since I spent the money on it and since I'm kind of dogging it a little bit right now. I feel like. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a good one.